Hey y'all, so I'm in the Old Testament today and I wanted to share what I read. It was pretty cool, but today in Exodus something that stuck out was in chapter 12 verse 37. It says this: the people of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot besides women and children. And that made me think back to the first chapter of Exodus when I read this. It says this in verse 5 of chapter 1. All the descendants of Jacob were 70 persons. And so what's crazy is, God promised to Abraham, to Isaac, and Jacob. He says, like, I will make your descendants as many as the stars in the sky and the sand on the sea. Like, that's what he tells them. And then we get to Exodus chapter 1. It's like, all the descendants are 70 persons. And that seems kind of underwhelming. It does follow up in the next few verses. It says, but the people of Israel were fruitful and increased greatly, that they multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, so that the land was filled with them. And so it seems promising. So it starts underwhelming with 70 persons, but then it seems somewhat promising with the following verses, but there's not really a quantitative figure. And so what's really cool is 12 chapters later, we see 600,000 men besides women and children. So let's say every man has one wife. Obviously, polygamy was a much more common thing. It doesn't make it right back at that time. God does not approve of polygamy, but it did take place. So let's say every man has one wife, but sometimes they could have more, but they have one wife. You double that, that's 1.2 million. Let's say every husband and wife has 2 kids on average, even though they probably had more back in that time. That's now 2.4 million people. So we've seen God take the descendants from 70 persons to now being a nation of 2.4 million people. And they're traveling on foot, and God's taking them out of Egypt, out of slavery. He's delivering them to the promised land. From 70 to 2.4. Nothing is impossible for God. And that just shows how God can take something so little and make it into something so great.